What is up? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today's video is going to be some of my favorite meals I am loving right now, followed by a chit chat all about intuitive eating. What is it? Does it work? What are my thoughts on it? And what do I do in terms of nutrition and achieving my goals? I hope that you enjoy this video, and as always, if you do, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and smile. Whenever I go to hotels, I love when the breakfast buffet has an egg or an omelette type station. So I've been really getting into making my own omelette. Super simple. It's very similar to my scramble I usually make, but it just looks a little bit prettier when you fold it over into a little egg white omelette. If you have seen any of my other full day of eating videos, you'll know that potato chips are one of my favorite snacks, or even just like a carb source alongside a higher protein meal. I absolutely love these, and I always pair them with a 50% less sugar ketchup. Perfect combination. Absolutely love it any time of the day, to be honest. So this is a super simple example of a breakfast recipe from my Fit with Anjuli meal plan. So it's just an egg, some mozzarella cheese, and then toasted English muffin. Yum! Very inspired by McDonald's, might I add. Another meal I have been absolutely loving recently is the mint meal prep I did in my meal prep video recently. So all I do is prep it on like a Sunday or a Monday, and then I'll pair it with some kind of carb, whether it's couscous, rice, pasta. So all I need to do is cook up some pasta, add that in, and then if I want to add in any cheese, I can. But since I've already had some cheese today, I'm going to skip out on that and just go for some pasta and minced bolognese mix. This pasta is just one I got from the supermarket. It's nothing special. It's not high protein or anything. I mainly need carbs. So for a serving of 100 grams, it's 14 grams of protein and almost 70 grams of carbs. Of course, if you need more protein, you could use something like an edamame bean pasta. So in terms of meal prep, this one's super simple because I had already pre-cooked the mince. All I need to do is put a pan on the stove for 10 minutes to cook my pasta. Easy done. That is my lunch. I hope that you have enjoyed seeing some of the food I'm eating today, but I think after this lunch I want to sit down with you and have a talk all about intuitive eating. Okay, chit chat time. Intuitive eating versus if it fits your macros. I am excited to cover this because I often get messages like, oh, I'm eating healthy but I'm not getting results, or I don't want to count calories, I want to intuitively eat but I'm not losing any weight, I'm gaining weight, or I'm maintaining weight. And this is a very common situation. There's a few different reasons why intuitive eating may work or may not work for you, just like there's a few reasons why If It Fits Your Macros may or may not work for you. Both have pros and cons, just like anything in life. The most important thing is that you find what works best for you. So in simple, intuitive eating is as simple as the name explains. It's eating intuitively. If you want a burger, you have it. If you want a salad, you have it. If you're not hungry, you don't eat. If you are hungry, you eat. If It Fits Your Macros is more scientific based. It's tracking the foods that you eat, weighing them, understanding the nutritional values of the foods that you're putting into your body, and making sure that they fit in alignment with your goals. So both of these things will have in common a caloric deficit. If your goal is fat loss, there is no way you will lose weight if you are not in a deficit. You need to make sure that you have an understanding of calories before you go into intuitive eating. Intuitive eating would not work for someone that has no idea about the calories of the food they're consuming if their goal is fat loss, because they might think, oh, I'm eating healthily, I have like a handful of nuts for snacks, and I have peanut butter on rice cakes, and at night I have a balanced meal of salmon and rice and, you know, nuts or whatever it is. You know, they're eating high calorie foods, they're either maintaining or gaining weight because they're not aware of the actual caloric information or values they're putting into their bodies. On the flip side, If It Fits Your Macros, it is a great tool for you to learn how to use MyFitnessPal, the app, to track your calories and understand what you're putting into your body. For some people, they find that it gets really obsessive when they start to use an app like MyFitnessPal, but I do recommend that a lot of you learn how to use MyFitnessPal to understand how to track your calories for a minimum of 3 to 6 months. This is a good way to get a gauge of calories, nutrition, micronutrients, how your body feels when you're eating certain foods, and especially if your goal is fat loss, If It Fits Your Macros is a much more precisional, is that the right word? Precisional way to actually track exactly what you're eating so you can adjust it based on your progress in order to make sure you are heading in the right direction. In terms of, do you have to use MyFitnessPal and track your calories forever? No, you don't have to. After a while, you get a really good gauge of how many calories is best for your body, of how many calories are in the food that you're eating, and you get really good at eyeballing portions. Like, I can head out for dinner and just guess the weight of a meal I'm getting in terms of the protein, the veg, and the carbs. So once you've done If It Fits Your Macros for 3 to 6 months, you might decide that you want to switch over to intuitive eating. I personally choose to do If It Fits Your Macros, so does Ross, my fiance, because we know that if we want to have an ice cream, we can fit that into our calories. It's very easy to have a no police rule on your food, like no food police here, you eat what you want as long as it fits into your macros. I aim for about 80 to 90% whole foods, but if I want to have a treat, I'm not opposed to that. Whereas if you're intuitive eating, you happen to want like a cookie or two, you might end up feeling like you've already screwed up, so you may as well start the next day and eat the whole pack of cookies today. This is a common thing I see happening on Instagram, in my DMs, and even in my emails. So both intuitive eating and If It Fits Your Macros have pros and cons, but at the end of the day, it's about finding what works best for you. If you are finding that you do If It Fits Your Macros Monday to Friday, but then come the weekend, you just want to go crazy and eat everything, maybe you'd be better off having a more balanced approach across the week and just seeing how you go. On the flip side, if you are someone that does intuitive eating and you just are not getting the results you want, whether it's fat loss or muscle gain, then I definitely recommend that you take time to learn how to use MyFitnessPal and count calories and track your macros. Both can work, but again, the most common thing with any kind of diet or any kind of fat loss journey is the total calories you're eating. Whether you're fasting, on paleo, on Weight Watchers, on keto, If It Fits Your Macros, intuitive eating, the common thing they all share is that for fat loss, you need that caloric deficit. And the best way to get that is to understand how many calories you're actually consuming each day. A good way to do this is to, for the next 3 days, write down everything you eat and drink, work out the calories with that, and then see how your weight goes eating the same things for the next 2 weeks, and then you can adjust from there whether you want to increase to gain weight or decrease to lose weight. So let's talk about who intuitive eating is for. If you are someone that has like an eating disordered background, or you're someone that really struggles with an obsessive type of behavior around food, then intuitive eating might be better for you instead of religiously tracking on MyFitnessPal. Also, if you are someone that is fed up of tracking on MyFitnessPal, then maybe intuitive eating is for you. However, if you are someone that has never tracked anything on MyFitnessPal, you don't have an idea of calories and nutritional intake, then it might be better for you to start on If It Fits Your Macros, tracking your calories and getting that good understanding, seeing how you like it fitting in foods that you enjoy before you decide whether you want to stay on If It Fits Your Macros or move to a more intuitive approach. Intuitive eating does have a few cons, including the fact that it can be really hard to adjust if you want to lose fat or build muscle, because you don't exactly know what you're eating. You're eating by how you feel, which can also lead to you either overeating or undereating. Let's be honest, we all have emotions and sometimes they get the best of us. So if you're someone that intuitively eats, if you're having an emotional week, you may find that you are eating double the amount of calories you should be eating if your goal is fat loss. And on the other side, I know some people stress out and they don't eat. So you could be severely under-eating and causing yourself to lose muscle while losing fat, and then struggling to build muscle because you're not eating enough. Pros of intuitive eating might include things like having more freedom with your food. You might feel a little less stressed without having to look on MyFitnessPal each day to see how much you can eat. You might also find that you just have more flexibility with social events, and that you don't really stress out about eating out because you feel like you can eat whatever you want. But in saying that, if you get very good at using MyFitnessPal, you learn how to eat out and stay on track anyway, and you can actually adjust your week around events and meals out so that you can stay on track and be really precise with your caloric intake across a week. Both If It Fits Your Macros and intuitive eating have pros and cons, so it really is about finding what works best for you. If what you're doing right now is not working and you've been trying intuitive eating and you're just not getting anywhere, then definitely try If It Fits Your Macros. Try learning about it. And as always, if you need any help, you know where to find me. I'm on Instagram. You can check out anjulimack.com and join the squad so I can help calculate your calories and macros for you. And yeah, that's kind of all I had to say. I just wanted to cover a little bit about intuitive eating and If It Fits Your Macros, which is my personal preference. If you have any questions at all, drop them in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next video.